Hello, sir.
How you doing, man?
Tell us your name here and what kind of car you got.
John Spears, and it's a 2010 GT Mustang.
A 2010 GT Mustang. Where'd you get it from?
I got it from a place over in Kentucky. It was, no, not even thinking of the name of it now. Fort Thomas.
Oh, okay. And how did the deal come about? Did you see it on Craigslist? Did you find it somewhere else? Someone refer you to somebody? What?
My wife found it on the internet.
Okay.
And it was Jeff Weiler's is where I bought it.
Okay. Okay. Now, let me show you this car here. It's really pretty. Now, is this like the first great car you ever owned, or what are some cars you've owned in the past?
No, I had a 69 Cougar Eliminator. There was only 300 of those made.
Really?
Yeah, I had it for 15 years, and it got totaled.
Wow, okay. Are your kids interested in cars at all?
Oh, yes, yes.
Really? What kind of cars do they have?
Right now, they're pretty stripped down because they haven't found the one that interests them. But my daughter's got a Taurus, and my son's got a Fusion.
Well, you think you've kind of had something to do with that? You think you inspired their inspiration?
Yeah, especially this car. When I bought this one, it inspired them even more.
Really? So you would take them to car shows a lot growing up, when they were growing up and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm assuming they're probably grown by now. But,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I was wondering, what sparked your interest in cars? What about your parents? I mean, were they interested in cars? Was your dad like a car collector or anything like that?
My dad and my uncle both, I worked on them all my whole life. I became a certified mechanic, and just, I've worked on them all my life.
Really? Now let's talk about your mechanic career if we can. How long did it take you to become a certified mechanic? So when did you start doing that?
I was it was 84.
That's a long time ago.
I went through school, yeah. Well, I graduated in 83. It was 84. I went through, they had programs in school that you could take and stuff like that. And then I went through some outside of school and got the certification. Of course, it's no good now, but yeah, I had fun with it. And then I just like to do it at home. So I stopped working for any garages or anything like that and just made it my pastimes, the things I enjoyed working on cars.
Well, I'm not me asking you, how old were you when you became a certified mechanic? How old were you?
I was 19.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
You're pretty fresh out of high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, how many cars? Because I guess, it's kind of like going to college. You got to take a certain amount of credits, get a certain amount of credits, get a certain amount of hours, get a certain amount of experience before they decide that that you're completed and that you can move on. So you had to probably work on a certain amount of cars or whatever to get your certification. How many cars you worked on, you think, your certification? You have like a ballpark number?
No, I don't.
I know it was a long time ago, but I think you may give me some estimate.
I've worked on so many of them, I couldn't even tell you.
I'm talking about what time you were 19. I mean, how many cars do you think you'd worked on?
I don't know. I've been working on them since I was like 8 years old with my dad, pulling motors and rebuilding them and putting them back in. And to, the old 67 Impalas and stuff like that. So I couldn't even tell you.
Oh, wow. So I thought it was kind of like a course then. Like you would have to work on a certain amount of cars and have a certain degree of success for them to give you a certification.
No, it was nothing like that. You had to pass the test that they had. And stuff. Even nowadays, it's even easier now. These kids are going in and getting their certifications, and they're not even working on the vehicle. They're just doing paperwork.
Wow.
So I've got a friend of mine's son that just became a certified mechanic, and he didn't even know how to change brakes. So.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's open the car door here. See what you got. Ooh.
It's all leather interior.
Okay, tell us here about your radio and stuff here. What kind of radio you got here?
It's the Shaker radio. It's got the CD 6 changer in it, AM FM. It's got the Sirius. It's got the auxiliary where you can put your your flash drive in, and it just sounds good. Sounds real good.
What is like? Have you ever has there ever been any car shows or anything like that, or car movies that you like to watch? Have you ever been influenced for your choices in cars? I'm talking, you'd see a lot of these like some of these movies and some of these shows, like these car repair shows, or you see the Fast and Furious or whatever. I mean, is there anything that you inspired you to?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of them. I mean, back in the day, look at the Chargers that were running around. What was it called? I can't even think of the name of it now, but they had all kinds of car shows on with, Steve McQueen, the Mustangs and that, the Dodge Chargers, all the older cars. I loved them to death. Mm-hmm. And now the new one that came out, a couple years back now, Need for Speed, that was the Mustang one, and
there was a movie. There's a movie with Ryan Gosling, Drive, and of course there's a movie with There's those movies with Vin Diesel and Paul Walker, The Fast and the Furious.
Right.
So
it's got the old Charger in it. Yeah, I'm not too much on the new Chargers or the new Challengers or anything like that. I like the older ones, the Cudas, the older Chargers and stuff like that. I like the older ones of that. Again, I gotta give my wife all the credit. She's the one that found it.
Yeah, good woman credit. She knows her cars.
Oh yeah. I've been looking for it for years. I was gonna go get a Coyote in Marie, Kentucky. And she said, "John, please stop by and look at this one," and I did. And this is the one I ended up buying because it was beautiful. I love the paint. I love the way it ran. So I bought it.
Yeah, the thing was though, I was thinking, what was the best car? What was the easiest car you think you've ever worked on? I'm talking about as a mechanic. What's the easiest car you ever worked on?
Well, the old 60s, 70s, and early 80s were the easiest ones because you didn't have all this electronic ignition and all that. You had points and condensers, stuff like that. It was really pretty easy. Manual fuel pumps, stuff like that, to figure out what was wrong with it. And nowadays, if you don't have a handheld, it's hard to figure out what's going on with them.
Yeah, right. What was the worst car you've ever owned? And what was the best one?
Best one I ever owned to date is a 1999 F-150. It's got 282,000 miles on it. I have spent virtually nothing in it. Put a fuel pump in it, stuff like that, simple things. That's been the best one. The worst one I ever owned was it was a 85 or 86 Dodge.
Oh, okay.
Didn't have very good luck with it.
How long did that last?
About 6 months.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I've also had other Dodges that were good. So it just all depends on what you like.
Okay, power Ford. Power.
It's a 4.6.
4.6?
Yeah.
Okay, now how long can they go for?
This one puts out 440 horses to the ground. So, if that helps you.
Okay. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it runs 1230s and a quarter.
How often does it have to get an oil change? How often?
I get it done every 5,000.
Okay. because I had a car that was like every 2,000, 3,000 miles I had to get it changed. So
But if you're running regular motor oil, yeah, I'm running synthetic.
oh, okay, so regular motor oil is like the one I had, 2,000, 3,000 miles.
Right.
So
I'm
you're
running the
5,000?
AM synthetic. I can go 7,500, but I don't. I go 5,000,
Okay.
which works out pretty good for me.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, take good care of yourself.
Oh yeah.